Good evening. If you are a Star Wars fan, may the 4th be with you. It is May the 4th. I'm sure everybody's heard that a dozen times today. I appreciate you for joining in. Tonight we're going to be reading from Judges 19:1 through 20:48. This one's going to be a long one, I think. It's going to be about 20 minutes. John 3:22 through 36, Psalms 104:24 through 35, and Proverbs 14:22 through 24. The Lord's Prayer, so if you will join in with me. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory forever and ever. Amen. We are in May the 4th. It's 19:1 through 20:48. It was an era when there was no king in Israel. A Levite living as a stranger in the backwoods hill country of Ephraim got himself a concubine, a woman from Bethlehem in Judah. But she quarreled with him and left, returning to her father's house in Bethlehem in Judah. So she was there 4 months. Then her husband decided to go after her and try to win her back. He had a servant and a pair of donkeys with him. When he arrived at her father's house, the girl's father saw him, welcomed him, and made him feel at home. His father in law, the girl's father, pressed him to stay. He stayed with him 3 days. They feasted and drank and slept. On the fourth day, they got up at the crack of dawn and got ready to go. But the girl's father said to his son in law, "Strengthen yourself with a hearty breakfast, and then you can go." So they sat down and ate breakfast together. The girl's father said to the man, "Come now, be my guest. Stay the night, make it a holiday." The man got up to go, but his father in law kept after him. So he ended up spending another night. On the fifth day, he was again up early, ready to go, and the girl's father said, "You need some breakfast." They went back and forth, and the day slipped on as they ate and drank together. But the man and his concubine were finally ready to go. Then his father in law, the girl's father, said, "Look, the day's almost gone. Why not stay the night? There's very little daylight left. Stay another night and enjoy yourself. Tomorrow you can go and get an early start and set off for your own place." But this time the man wasn't willing to spend another night. He got his things ready and left. He went as far as Jebus, which is Jerusalem, with a pair of saddled donkeys, his concubine and his servant. At Jebus, though, the day was nearly gone. The servant said to his master, "It's late. Let's go into the Jebusite city and spend the night." But his master said, We're not going into the city of foreigners. We'll go on to Geba." He directed his servant, "Keep going. Let's go on ahead. We'll spend the night either in Geba or Ramah." So they kept going, and as they pressed on, the sun finally left them in the vicinity of Geba, which belongs to Benjamin. They left the road there to spend the night in Geba. The Levite went and sat down in the town square, but no one invited them in to spend the night. Then, late in the evening, an old man came in from his day's work in the fields. He was from the hill country of Ephraim and lived temporarily in Geba, where all the local citizens were Benjamites. When the old man looked up and saw the traveler in the town square, he said, "Where are you going and where are you from?" The Levite said, "We're just passing through. We're coming from Bethlehem on our way to a remote spot in the hills in Ephraim." "I come from there. I just made a trip from Bethlehem in Judah, and I'm on my way back home, but no one has invited us in for the night. We wouldn't be any trouble. We have food and straw for the donkeys, and bread and wine for the woman. The young man and me, we don't need anything." The old man said, "It's going to be all right. I'll take care of you. You aren't going to spend the night in the town square." He took them home and fed the donkeys. They washed up and sat down to a good meal. They were relaxed and enjoying themselves when the man of the city, a gang of local hellraisers, all surrounded the house and started pounding on the door. They yelled for the owner of the house, the old man, "Bring out the man who came to your house. We want him. Whoa, we want to have sex with him." Okay. He went out and told them, "No, brothers, don't be obscene. This man is my guest. Don't commit this outrage. Look, my virgin daughter and his concubine are here. I'll bring them out for you. Abuse them if you must, but don't do anything so senselessly vile to this man." But the men wouldn't listen to him. Finally, his concubine out the door to them. They raped her repeatedly all night long. Good Lord, I don't remember ever reading this. Just before dawn, they let her go. The woman came back and fell at the door of the house where her master was sleeping. When the sun rose, there she was. It was morning. Her master got up and opened the door to continue his journey. There she was, his concubine, crumpled in a heap at the door, her hands on the threshold. Get up, he said. Let's get going. There was no answer. He lifted her onto the donkey and set out for home. When he got home, he took a knife and dismembered his concubine. Good Lord, what am I reading? When he got home, he took a knife and dismembered his concubine, cut her into 12 pieces. He sent her piece by piece throughout the country of Israel, and ordered the men he sent out, say to every man in Israel, has such a thing of this ever happened from the time of Israelites came up from the land of Egypt until now? Think about it, talk it over, do something. Then all the people of Israel came out. The congregation met in the presence of Mizpah. They were all there, from Dan to Beersheba, as one person. The leaders of all the people, representing all the tribes of Israel, took their places in the gathering of God's people. There were 400 divisions of sword-wielding infantry. Meanwhile, the Benjamites got wind that the Israelites were meeting in Mizpah. The people of Israel said, now tell us, how did this outrageous evil happen? The Levite, the husband of the murdered woman, spoke. My concubine and I came to spend the night in Geba, a Benjamite town. That night, the men of Geba came after me. They surrounded the house, intending to kill me. They gang raped my concubine, and she died. So I took my concubine, cut up her body, and sent her piece by piece, 12 pieces to every part of the Israelites' inheritance. This vile, outrageous crime was committed in Israel. So Israelites, make up your minds, decide on some action. All the people were at once, and as one person on their feet. Not one of us will go home. Not a single one of us will go to his own house. Here's our plan for dealing with Geba. We'll march against it by drawing lots. We'll take 10 of every 100 men from all the tribes of Israel, 100 of every 1,000, and 1,000 of every 10,000 to carry food for the army. When the troops arrive in Geba, they will settle accounts for this outrageous and vile evil that has been done in Israel. So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city to totally unite. The Israelite tribes sent messages throughout the tribe of Benjamin saying, what's the meaning of this outrage that took place among you? Surrender the men right now, right here and now, these hell raisers of Geba. We'll put them to death and burn the evil out of Israel. But they wouldn't do it. The Benjamites refused to listen to their brothers, the people of Israel. Instead, they raised an army from all their cities and rallied to Geba to go to war against the people of Israel. In no time at all, they had recruited from their cities 26 divisions of 26 divisions of sword-wielding infantry. From Geba, they got 700 hand-picked fighters, the best. They were another 700 super marksmen who were ambidextrous. They could sling a stone at a hair and not miss. The men of Israel, excluding Benjamin, mobilized 400 divisions of sword-wielding fighting men. They set out and went to Bethel to inquire of God. The people of Israel said, who of you shall be first to go into battle with the Benjamites? God said, Judah goes first. The people of Israel got up the next morning and camped before Geba. The army of Israel marched out against Benjamin and took up their positions, ready to attack Geba. But the Benjamites poured out of Geba and devastated 22 Israelite divisions on the ground. The Israelites went back to the sanctuary and wept before God until evening. They again inquired of God, shall we again go into battle with the Benjamites or our brothers? God said, yes, attack. The army took heart. The men of Israel took up positions they had deployed on the first day. On the second day, the Israelites again advanced against Benjamin. This time, as the Benjamites came out of the city on the second day, they devastated another 18 Israelite divisions, all swordsmen. All the people of Israel, the whole army, were back at Bethel, weeping, sitting there in the presence of God. That day they fasted until evening. They sacrificed whole burnt offerings and peace offerings before God. And they again inquired of God. The chest of God's covenant was there at that time with Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, as the ministering priest. They asked, "Shall we again march into battle against the Benjamites, our brothers, or shall we call it quits?" And God said, "Attack. Tomorrow I will give you victory." This time, all around Geba. On the third day, when Israel set out, they before Benjamites, as before. When the Benjamites came out to meet, they moved out from the city. Benjamites began to cut down some of the troops just as they had before. About 30 men fell on the field and on the roads to Bethel and Geba. The Benjamites started bragging, or dropping them like flies just as before. But the Israelites strategized. Now let's retreat and pull them out of the city onto the main roads. So every Israelite moved farther out to Baal Tamar. And at the same time, the Israelite ambush rushed from its place west. 10 crack divisions from all over Israel now arrived in Geba, intense, bloody fighting. The Benjamites had no idea that they were about to go down in defeat. God routed them before Israel. The Israelites decimated 25 divisions of Benjamites that day, 25,100 killed. They were all swordsmen. The Benjamites saw that they were beaten. The men of Israel acted like they were retreating before, knowing that they could depend on an ambush they had prepared for Geba. The ambush erupted and made quick work of Geba. The ambush spread out and massacred the city. The strategy for the main body of the ambush was that they send up a smoke signal from the city. Then the men of Israel would turn in battle. When that Benjamin had killed about 30 Israelites and thought they were on their way to victory, yelling out, "They're on the run," just as in the first battle. But then the signal went up from the city, a huge column of smoke. When the Benjamites looked back, there it was, the whole city going up in smoke. By the time the men of Israel had turned back, they could see that they were trapped, confronted by the get away down the wilderness road. But by now the battle was everywhere. The men of Israel poured out of the towns, killing them right and left, hot on their trail, picking them off east of Geba. 18 divisions of Benjamites were wiped out, all of their best fighters. 5 divisions turned to escape to the wilderness in Rimmon Rock, but the Israelites caught them and slaughtered them on the roads. Keeping the pressure on the Israelites brought down 2 more divisions. The total of the Benjamites killed that day came to 25 divisions of infantry, their best swordsmen. 600 men got away. They made it to Rimmon Rock in the wilderness and held out there for 4 months. The men of Israel came back and killed all the Benjamites who were left, all the men and animals they found in every town, and then torched the town, sending them up in flames. Good Lord, what kind of story is that? That's some kind of Dateline NBC story. Judges 19:1 through 20:48, the breakdown says, "This one is one of the darkest moments of Israel's history. A Levite concubine is abused and killed, and instead of unity, Israel spirals into civil war against the tribe of Benjamin. Big idea: when there's no godly leadership and everyone does what they want, what's right in their own eyes, chaos, violence, and moral collapse follow. The takeaway: sin doesn't just stay personal, it spreads and destroys communities." Gosh, I don't remember reading that. John 3:22 through 36. After the conversation, Jesus went on with his disciples into the Judean countryside and relaxed with them. He was also baptizing. At the same time, John was baptizing over at Enon near Siloam, where water was abundant. This was before John was thrown into jail. John's disciples got into an argument with his establishment, Jews, over the nature of baptism. They came to John and said, "Rabbi, you know the one who was with you on the other side of the Jordan, the one you authorized with you witness. Well, he's now competing with us. He's baptizing too, and everyone going to him instead of us." John answered, "It is not possible for a person to succeed. I'm talking about eternal success. Without heaven's help, you yourselves were there when I made it public that I was not the Messiah, but simply the one sent ahead of him to get things ready. The one who gets the bride is, by definition, the bridegroom. And the bridegroom's friend, his best man, that's me, in place at his side where he can hear every word, is genuinely happy. He could be he How could he be jealous when he knows that the wedding is finished and the marriage is off to a good start? That's when my cup is running over. This is the assignment moment for him to move into the center. while I slip off to the sidelines. The one who comes from above, the one who comes from above is head and shoulders over messengers from God. The earthborn is earthborn and speaks earth language, and the heavenborn is in a league of his own. He sets out the evidence of what he saw and heard in heaven. No one wants to deal with these facts, but anyone who examines this evidence will come to stake his life on this, and God himself is the truth. The one that God sent speaks God's words, and don't think he rations out the Spirit in bits and pieces. The Father loves the Son extravagantly. He turned everything over to him so he could give it away. A lavish distribution of gifts. That is why whoever accepts and trusts the Son in gets in on everything, life complete and forever. And that is why the person who avoids and distrusts the Son is in the dark and doesn't see life. All his experiences of God is darkness and the anger and angry darkness at that. Can't wait to break this one down. John 3:22 through 36. John the Baptist makes it clear he must increase, I must decrease. He points everything to Jesus Christ. The big idea: life works best when Jesus is elevated and our ego is lowered. The takeaway says pride competes with God, humility aligns you with Him, and that's where real life is. Psalms 104:24-35. What a wildly wonderful world, God, you made it all with wisdom on your side. Made earth overflowing with your wonderful creations. Oh, look, the deep wild sea, brimming with fish past counting, sardines and sharks and salmon. Ships plow their waters, and Leviathan, your pet dragon, romps in them. All the creatures look expectantly to you to give you their meals on time. You come and they gather around, and you open your hand and they eat from you. If you turned your back, they'd die in a minute. Take back your spirit and they die. Revert to original mud. Send out your spirit and they spring to life. The whole countryside in bloom and blossom. The glory of God, let it last forever. Let God enjoy his creation. He takes one look at earth and triggers an earthquake. Points a finger at the mountains and volcanoes erupt. Oh, let me sing to God all my life long. Sing hymns of my God as long as I live. Oh, let my song praise him. Excuse me. Oh, let my song please him. I'm so pleased to be singing to God, but clear the ground of sinners. No more godless men and women. Oh, my soul, bless God. Breakdown of Psalms 104:24-35. This is a praise explosion about God's creation. Everything from animals to oceans is sustained by him. The big idea: God isn't distant. He actively is holding everything together right now. The takeaway: gratitude shifts your perspective. When you see God as provider, worry loses power. I'm going to read that again. When you see God as provider, worry loses power. Proverbs 14:22-24. Isn't it obvious that conspirators lose out, while the thoughtful win love and trust? Hard work always pays off. Mere talk puts no bread on the table. The wise accumulate wisdom. Fools get stupider by the day. Proverbs 14:22-24. Simple but sharp wisdom. Those who plan evil go astray, but those who purse good find love and faithfulness. Excuse me. Those who pursue good find love and faithfulness. Hard work leads to profit. Empty talk leads to poverty. The big idea says your direction determines your destination. Your direction determines your destination. The takeaway: intentions plus discipline action equals blessing. Talk without action equals nothing. I told you today, I love you and I appreciate you. I hope you have a better than good day. Tomorrow will be Cinco de Mayo, Taco Tuesday, if it is Tuesday. I appreciate you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a better than good night, and we will see you tomorrow, May the 5th. Appreciate you.